Imagine choosing your entire career based on a YouTube video you watched when you were 6 years old. That's exactly what happened with one of the best golfers on the planet right now. Jeeno Thitikul became a professional champion at 14. She's earned over $13 million before turning 23. And the reason she even plays golf instead of another sport is honestly hilarious. If you're a golf fan and you don't know who Jeeno is yet, you're about to understand why she's completely taking over women's golf.
I think I'm the same person. It's just the number-wise that it's golf, the ranking, the stats that they just build it up.
We're talking record-breaking earnings, world #1 rankings, and a personality that makes her impossible not to root for. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like if you're ready for some golf content that's actually entertaining, and let's get into the top 10 things you absolutely need to know about Jeeno Thitikul. Starting at number 10, and this is something that catches people off guard every single time. Her name isn't actually Jeeno, her real name is Jeeno Thitikul, which yeah, I can see why she went with something else for the tour. But the story behind the nickname is actually really cool. Originally her mom called her Jean, no O at the end. Pretty simple, right? But when Jeeno was young and playing on Thailand's national team, her coach started calling her Jeeno instead. And here's the cool part, that coach was the first Thai woman to ever play.
When I was young, I just thought about winning a tournament. Just one tournament on the LPGA would be enough for me. But to hear where I am now, I don't know how I get it.
On the LPGA Tour. So when Jeeno heard that nickname, she absolutely loved it and decided to make it permanent. When she went professional, she stuck with Jeeno for a pretty smart reason. In her own words, it's just easier for pronouncers, for podcasts, and for everyone to remember. It's short, and it's kind of unique as well. And honestly, she's right. Instead of hearing commentators stumble over Jeeno every week, she picked a name that's memorable, easy to say, and still honors the coach who helped shape her career. It's a branding decision that shows she was already thinking about the bigger picture, even as a teenager. So next time you hear someone say Jeeno Thitikul, remember there's a whole story behind that name. It's not just a nickname, it's a tribute to someone who believed in her from the start. Number 9 is going to make you laugh because it's probably the most relatable reason anyone has ever chosen their sport. Picture this. 6-year-old Jeeno is getting sick constantly. Her parents take her to the doctor, and the doctor recommends an outdoor sport to help boost her immune system. Pretty standard advice, right? So her dad gives her 2 options, golf or tennis. Now most kids would probably try both, see which one they like better, maybe ask their friends what they think. Not Jeeno. This girl went straight to YouTube, watched videos of both sports, and made her decision right there based purely on what she saw online.
I just said to the guy, the media guy that walked up with me today, like, I don't think I'm good. I don't think I'm that good. He's just like, what are you just saying?
That's the new #1 player in the world speaking. After 71 consecutive weeks at the top, Nelly Korda has been replaced by 22-year-old Jeeno Thitikul.
Her reasoning? Tennis involved too much running. That's it. That's the whole decision-making process. One of the most talented golfers in the world chose golf because she looked at tennis and thought, nah, that's too much cardio. If that doesn't sound like something a 6-year-old would do, I don't know what does. But also, if you've ever played a round of golf in the summer heat, you know it's not exactly a walk in the park either. Jeeno clearly didn't account for walking 18 holes in 90-degree weather. Still, you have to appreciate the efficiency of her decision. No trial period, no overthinking it, just pure 6-year-old logic. And honestly, thank goodness she made that choice, because we might have missed out on watching one of the most exciting golfers on tour right now. YouTube literally shaped the future of women's golf, and nobody talks about that. At number 8, we're getting into something that shows the less glamorous side of being a professional athlete. Jeeno doesn't travel with her family during tournaments. While she's flying around the world competing at the highest level, her parents and sisters stay back home in Thailand. She travels with her manager and her caddy, Banphot Bunfanseri, but it's not the same as having family there. Her best friend on tour, Roning Yin, has talked about this before. Roning's lucky enough to have her parents travel with her to tournaments, and she's mentioned how different Jeeno's experience is by comparison. Just think about that for a second. Jeeno is 22 years old, traveling to a different country almost every week, dealing with the pressure of competing against the best golfers in the world, and she's doing it all without her family nearby. That's the part of professional golf that doesn't get talked about enough. Everyone sees the prize money and the trophy presentations, but they don't see the loneliness loneliness that comes with being on the road constantly. For someone Jeeno's age, that's a huge sacrifice. But here's what makes it a little better. Her caddy, Banfot, has been with her since day one of her professional career. He's not just the guy carrying her bag and reading greens. He's become like family to her. He keeps her company between rounds, gives her advice on and off the course, and has been there through all the ups and downs. That kind of relationship between a player and caddy is rare, and you can tell it means a lot to Jeeno. It doesn't replace having her actual family there, but it's clear that Banfot has become one of the most important people in her life. Number 7 is where things get absolutely wild with the money she's making. Jeeno Thitikul earned over $6 million in the 2024 LPGA season alone. Just let that number sit for a second. $6 million in 1 year. To put that in perspective, she completely shattered the previous single-season earnings record that was set by Lorena Ochoa back in 2007. Ochoa's record was $4.36 million, which at the time seemed untouchable. Jeeno didn't just break it, she destroyed it with $6.59 million in official LPGA earnings. And here's what makes it even crazier. Both Jeeno and Nelly Korda surpassed Ochoa's record in the same season. Nelly earned $4.39 million, which is incredible in its own right. But Jeeno was on a completely different level. The crown jewel of her season was winning the CME Group Tour Championship, which came with a $4 million paycheck. That's the largest single prize in women's golf history. And she didn't just win it, she claimed it with one of the most clutch finishes you'll ever see. Eagle, birdie to close out the tournament, absolutely ice cold under pressure. When you add in endorsements and off-course earnings, Jeeno made over $9 million total in 2024. She's 22 years old. Let that sink in for a second. Most people her age are stressing about student loans and entry-level job offers. Jeeno's out here changing what's financially possible for women's golfers, and she's doing it before she can even rent a car in some states without paying extra fees. The money she's earning isn't just impressive, it's actually changing the landscape of women's golf and showing younger players what's possible if they reach the top of the sport. Coming in at number 6, Jeeno made history by becoming the second youngest golfer ever to reach world number 1. She was just 19 years old. On October 31st, 2022, Jeeno climbed to the top of the women's world golf rankings. The only person to ever do it younger was Lydia Ko, who hit number 1 at 17 years and 9 months. But here's what makes Jeeno's achievement even more impressive. She did it in her rookie season on the LPGA Tour. Think about that. Most players spend years grinding their way up the rankings, hoping to maybe crack the top 10 at some point in their careers. Jeeno went from Q school to world number 1 in less than a year. That's not supposed to be possible. It's like someone joining a company and becoming CEO within their first 12 months. It just doesn't happen. And guess what? She's back at number 1 right now. After Nelly Korda's dominance earlier in 2024, Jeeno reclaimed the top spot in August and has been holding it down ever since. What makes her so dangerous is the consistency. She's had 64 top 10 finishes in her career so far. For someone who's only been on tour since 2022, that's an absurd stat. She's not just flashing brilliance once in a while and disappearing. She's showing up week after week, tournament after tournament, putting together rounds that keep her in contention. The scary part for everyone else on tour, she's still only 22. She's going to be dominating women's golf for at least the next decade, probably longer, and she's just getting started. We're halfway through the list at number 5, and this one is legitimately legendary. Jeeno won a professional golf tournament when she was 14 years old. On July 9th, 2017, as an amateur, she won the Ladies European Thailand Championship at 14 years, 4 months, and 19 days old. At the time, she became the youngest golfer ever to win a professional tournament. Now that record has since been broken, but it doesn't make what she did any less incredible. Think about what it takes to win a professional golf tournament. You're competing against people who do this for a living, people who have years of experience, and you're still in middle school. That's not just talent, that's a completely different level of composure and skill. And it wasn't a fluke either. By the time Jeeno was 16, she was the world's #1 amateur. By the time she turned professional in 2020, she already had 2 professional wins on the Ladies European Tour, both as an amateur, which is almost unheard of. Before going pro, she racked up 16 amateur victories. She won gold at the 2018 Summer Youth Olympics. She was the leading amateur at the Women's British Open in both 2018 and 2019, winning the Smith Salver Trophy both times. Basically, Jeeno has been winning her entire life. Golf isn't just something she picked up and got good at. It's like she was designed for this sport. And the craziest part? She only started playing golf because a doctor told her to get some fresh air as a sick kid. Now she's one of the wealthiest athletes in Thailand and one of the most dominant golfers on the planet. At number 4, we're hitting another financial milestone that's going to blow your mind. Jeeno surpassed $10 million in career earnings before her 22nd birthday. Most professional golfers will never earn $10 million in their entire careers. Some of the best players in the world spend decades on tour and don't hit that number. Jeeno did it in just a few years. She's currently sitting at over $13 million in career earnings, and she's still in what most people would consider the early stages of her prime. By the time she's 30, if she keeps this pace, she could easily be pushing $50 million or more. That's generational wealth. That's set-for-life money. But what's really cool about Jeeno is that the money hasn't changed who she is. She's incredibly humble and grounded, which is rare for someone achieving this level of success so young. She talks openly about using her earnings to take care of her family back in Thailand. Her parents sacrificed so much for her when she was growing up. They would drive her an hour to Bangkok for golf lessons when she was just a kid. Her father owned a car wash. Her mother was a hairdresser. They weren't wealthy, but they invested everything they could into their daughter's dream, even when it probably seemed like a long shot. And now Jeeno is making sure they never have to worry about money again. She's also been named one of the 15 highest paid female athletes in 2024, earning $9.1 million total when you include endorsements. She's on lists with tennis superstars and soccer icons. That's the level she's at right now. Money doesn't buy happiness, but Jeeno is using hers to honor her family and set them up for the rest of their lives. That shows the kind of person she is off the course, and it's part of why so many people are rooting for her. Number 3 is probably the most shocking thing on this entire list, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. Jeeno Thitikul has never won a major championship. Now, before you think that takes away from her greatness, let me explain why this is actually terrifying for everyone competing against her. Jeeno has 5 top 5 finishes and 9 top 10 finishes in majors. She's been right there, knocking on the door, multiple times. Her best major finish so far was runner-up at the 2024 Amundi Evian Championship, and the way she lost is absolutely heartbreaking. Grace Kim went eagle, birdie, eagle on her last 3 holes to steal the tournament from Jeeno. That's not Jeeno playing poorly. That's golf being cruel in the most brutal way possible. She also finished 4th at the 2022 KPMG Women's PGA Championship and tied for 4th at the 2023 Chevron Championship. She's consistently in contention at the biggest tournaments. She just hasn't closed the deal yet. But here's why this should scare everyone else on tour. Jeeno is 22 years old. She's already world number 1. She's already a multi-millionaire. She's already proven she can win under massive pressure. The major championship is coming. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And when she finally breaks through and wins her first major, the floodgates are going to open. Remember, Nelly Korda didn't win her first major until she was 23. Lydia Ko didn't win her first until she was 21. Jeeno is right on schedule with other all-time greats. Once she gets that first major win and gets the monkey off her back, she's going to go on an absolute tear. The scary thing for her competitors is that she's already dominating without a major. Imagine what happens when she finally gets one. At number 2, we're talking about something that makes Jeeno so easy to root for. She's incredibly emotional and authentic, and she doesn't try to hide it. In her own words, after the 2024 season, she said, 4 or 5 times I've been asked about this year. I think it's still been really an amazing ride this year. Definitely ups and downs, definitely had a lot of close ones, but couldn't finish it. Cried a lot for sure on runner-ups. She's had 4 second-place finishes in 2024 alone. 4 times she was right there, so close to winning, and couldn't get it done. That's absolutely soul-crushing, especially for someone as competitive as Jeeno. And she doesn't hide the disappointment. She cries, she processes the loss, and then she comes back stronger the next week. One of the most heartbreaking moments of her season was at the Kroger Queen City Championship. She 4-putted the 72nd hole to lose a tournament that seemed like it was hers. She was in tears afterward, and honestly, who wouldn't be? But you know what she said after that loss? It's not how often you fall, it's how fast you know how to stand up. That's the mindset of a true champion. She doesn't pretend to be invincible. She doesn't put on a fake smile, smile and act like the losses don't hurt. She acknowledges the pain, learns from it, and keeps pushing forward. She also said something really profound about success. You're there, and definitely one day you're not going to be. It doesn't last forever, my career. She understands that nothing in sports is permanent, which makes her appreciate every moment she has at the top. That kind of emotional intelligence is rare, especially for someone so young. She's not just a talented golfer. She's someone who understands the mental side of the game and is constantly working on handling the pressure better. That's what separates good golfers from all-time greats. And finally, at number 1, the thing that makes Jeeno Thitikul so special beyond just her golf game. She's best friends with one of her biggest rivals, Ruoning Yin. Jeeno and Ruoning's friendship started in November 2023, and it's become one of the most wholesome stories in women's golf. They won the 2024 Dow Championship together as a team, and after the victory, Jeeno said, "Ruoning is just what I wanted her to be in a partner and like my best friend out there." What makes this friendship so incredible is that they're also direct competitors. They're both young, both incredibly talented, both fighting for the same trophies and the same top spot in the rankings. In most sports, that would breed animosity, but Jeeno and Ruoning have built something really special. Ruoning has talked about how lonely tour life can be for Jeeno since she doesn't travel with her family. So Ruoning makes it a point to be there for her, to support her, to keep her company when things get tough. That's real friendship. In a sport that can be isolating and cutthroat, these two are showing that you can compete at the highest level and still genuinely care about each other. They celebrate each other's wins. They console each other after tough losses. They lift each other up even when they're competing against each other. That's the future of women's golf right there. Collaboration over pure competition. Community over individualism. Jeeno isn't just winning golf tournaments. She's showing the world that you can be elite at what you do and still be a genuinely good person. She's showing that you can be emotional and vulnerable and still be a champion. She's proving that success doesn't have to come at the expense of your relationships or your character, and that's why she's going to be one of the most beloved athletes in the world for years to come. Jeeno Thitikul is only 22 years old, and she's already rewritten the record books. She's earned over $13 million, reached world number 1 twice, and established herself as one of the most exciting players in women's golf. But beyond the trophies and the money, Jeeno represents something bigger. She's humble, she's resilient, she's authentic, and she values friendship and family above everything else. She's proof that you can be elite without losing your humanity, and that's rare in professional sports. What's your favorite Jeeno moment? Have you been following her career, or is this your first time really learning about her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more golf content, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Jeeno Thitikul is just getting started, and we're all lucky to be watching her journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.